Yes.
Perfect. Okay. I mean, people know all the music that you've done, obviously with Perfect Circle, and the first solo record that you did that we also did preview together, which was Ashes Divide that you did, and so it's an exciting record of the music that you loved and were passionate about growing up. A lot of things that were involved in new wave and post.
Post-punk is what you're supposed to say. You're cutting out a little bit, Matt.
Okay, can you hear me now, guys? Do I sound a little better?
Though.
Okay, I'll slow down a little. Billy, let's talk about the new record. Let's talk about what Normal was in these 10 songs.
Shoot. Yeah, I'm good at answering questions, but bad at initiating.
I'm breaking. I need to break up a little bit. I just want to make sure. See, Does that sound a little better? Can you hear me now? Let me see if that's better.
Yeah, you're good.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think what we'll do is I'm explaining that this record. You can hear a lot of the influences of things you loved growing up. Tell me about the approach you took to writing the tracks on this album.
I guess there were just some things that I always kind of put into a folder or into a pile or however you would say it, of things that looked like they were going to fit together for this record. There was a couple things on the last APC record I was considering putting on here, but it's funny. One little piece can change the balance and the whole focus of a record. So I kind of kept with my initial batch, and there was a couple cornerstone songs, like Free and Weightless was one of them, and The Same Again, and Annie. And so like I just kind of built around those and kind of flushed it out. But like you were saying, it's definitely a bit of a letter back. I just went with the idea of like almost sending myself a letter or a record when I was a kid. If I could go in a time machine, how many times we had like insomnia sitting there staring at the ceiling, like, oh, if I could go back in time, when would I go to? And I think back to like middle school, that key time of like when music became the most important to me, when I stopped just listening to my sister's records or someone else's records and started buying my own and like started to, dig into what it was that made me tick as a music fan. Right. Like, and this is kind of like this is me kind of taking all those things I listened to maybe and making my best effort, my best foot forward if I had the means and money as in 1983.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear all this. From that echo there, but incredible record. Really,
thank you.
And I want to introduce everybody on here to Mynxii White. Now, Mynxii is the. How you doing, Mynxii? It's great to have you.
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Yeah, Mynxii. One of the really important things is this. We're gonna debut and world premiere this great video you did for Annie. And what I love about the video, and people will find, is that it's got a whole reverse generation kind of concept, and the story really going backwards. When one of the first movies that really affected me with that kind of concept was Memento when it came out.
Oh yeah, I love that film.
Yeah, it was incredible. And talk to me about working with Billy. I mean, obviously you're a fan of his music. How did the collaboration come about?
Oh my gosh, it's such an honor to work with Billy. I mean, I grew up with Tool and A Perfect Circle. Like, so this is the music that like shaped me as a human being. It really like shaped who I am creatively and the kind of things that I want to see. So when this project crossed my lap, I was just beyond thrilled. My agent Matt is amazing and connected us with Dino, who works with him, and I had a chance to pitch a concept, and thank goodness Billy really liked it, because this one was really a lot of fun. I mean, I really love like Gaspar Noé films. I really love like Irreversible, and he has another movie like it's called Love, and they all kind of go backwards. And I really liked that concept of starting at the climax and then working your way back and really kind of figuring out like, how did we get here? Starting from the end and then working our way through and kind of figuring out like, almost if a minute was different, if you know if he hadn't been late, if he hadn't had dropped his gas can in the video, if he hadn't have if he had have picked up the phone call, would things be different? Could you change time if you were to change one thing? And I really like that concept from like Memento, Irreversible, that kind of thing. And I really like that dark grittiness as well. It was fun. It was really fun to make with Billy. I know that was important to you as a concept as well.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, go ahead, Bill.
I've read it and knew, there's times I can see something, be like, oh, I got a bunch of ideas, and it was really strong and kind of complete, well, very complete. And so just thought, like, I'm gonna just see where this director wants to go. Mynxii and I haven't met yet, but once we talked, it seemed, like it was gonna, passionate and excited, and that's what's great. I mean, great to work with really excited about what they're doing, and you certainly have that, and you've had it from the beginning, during, and after, and it's infectious and awesome. So yeah, I just kind of got out of the way. I was thinking before we started doing this today, I don't know what else to say. That's about as much as I could say about the video. I had very little to do with it. She just told me where to stand, what to look at, what to do.
That's not true. You were so amazing and so wonderful with the feedback and putting this story together and really helping to shape everything. It's really, it's not over once you shoot it. You still have to edit the whole thing, and the edit really changes everything.
Yeah.
More of the work than even shooting it, right? Like just.
I'm sorry. Oh, the post.
Yeah, the edit is kind of like more of the work than even shooting the footage.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that you don't miss any details. Like, it was really, really important for me to make sure we had like a really detailed shot list and really detailed ideas, because every little thing, like when he throws the keys and the lighter on the table in the video, that's kind of like the culprit. That's what starts the fire in the beginning. And like her cigarette that she plays with, there are these little tiny details that are super important that we can't miss. And like, right. I get really excited about what I'm doing. So sometimes I get more, the excitement kind of clouds the edit. It's really nice to have another pair of eyes. And it was amazing working with you so closely on that final product. Like, you really helped to bring it to life and make it perfect. I mean, really down to the frame. You know what I mean? Like, frame by frame, we were really going through it.
Why don't we watch the video? Love everybody to see it. I think it's great. It's Annie. Of course, it's from the album What Normal Was, the latest album and the first solo record, Billy Howerdel. It's such a great track, and make sure you pay close attention to it, because there's so many incredible things happening here. So we're going to show that right now. Here's Annie. It's Billy Howerdel.